a podcast discussing all things in the shadows. I'm the living shadow. We're about to get started here in just a moment. I'm not used to doing this live, so bear with me. I'm trying to keep this the same way I normally do. If you are new to this channel or to me in general, please know I do have a shop. It's called the Shadow Shop. It is on thelivingshadow.me, home of various products to help you, like my manifestation booklet, which you can write in. If you need a place to write your manifestations down. Some chaotic cleanse. This is a aerosol, a spray version of like sage, so helps keep you spiritually clean. And an awakening bath box, which you can have everything you need to wash away the old you. In just a moment here to get this going. Hello. Welcome to the Shadowcast, the podcast discussing all things hidden in the shadows. Okay, you guys. Y'all already know I'm the living shadow. We got some things to talk about. So, what I'm going to talk about today is social media. I want to talk about social media because it's been such a thing. Many of you all, if you listen to this faithfully, you may or may not know, I have a business, Living Shadow LLC. I am, I run the business. I'm trying to get more views and get more things, as I've been spending my week this week in this journey of trying to both simultaneously go through and heal my own traumas, and so I can become a better person in general, not just a better business owner, but I can become just a better person, just because I want to be a good person. As I assume most people want to be good people. I mean, some people may not. If you are one of those people who is not striving to be better, you may want to pick up some of my products. That's where we're at right now. There's an awakening bath box, which I do recommend. It's probably one of my favorite things that I've come up with. It is everything you need to wash away the old you. So there's a whole bunch of different things in here to have a spiritual bath. If you've never had a spiritual bath, this may be your first experience with one. And it's basically just trying to have like a home spa experience. That's kind of what the whole purpose of this is. There's a candle in here, a bath bomb, sage, different things. So, do check that out on my site, thelivingshadow.me. But as I'm saying about social media, is because I've put this stuff out on social media like this. That's our main thing now, or not really the main thing now, but like, that's like how people get in touch with people nowadays. It's social media. So a lot of us were living, especially during the pandemic, we lived online, basically, or online only. We didn't, there was not like in person. I know for a lot of people going door to door, like I was doing insurance when the pandemic hit last year. So I wasn't a door to door insurance person. We had leads, things like that. However, we normally met people in house, or like we went to their house to see them. We never met, it wasn't an online thing. So since they had to transition to online things, they had to do social media marketing. That was a big push. Like the company I worked for, they made me make an Instagram for insurance. Like they made me make an insurance Instagram, which I never even used. Nobody paid like some people paid attention to it. Nobody really paid attention to it. It was like, what is this for? But these are like the things that we're at. Like we're like trying to learn how to do. And you see the people, like, I know people see people who are out there who have garnered a following, or are able to get retweets on Twitter, or like shares on the YouTube and comments, or what I'm saying? Like, you gotta get whichever, like, and each social media platform apparently has like their own thing and their own algorithm and all this stuff we're trying to learn and break down. Excuse me for a moment. Sorry, y'all, but it's stressful talking about it. Okay, I'm gonna just be straight up honest with you. And don't get me started on that meta book. Okay, I call Facebook meta book. Or book of faces. I have a whole bunch of names for Facebook because it's just a whole whatever. But And that's the most stressful one by far. I'm just going to be honest with you, by far. Um, but all these different platforms have different things, like strengths, weaknesses, things like that, you know? And trying to figure out which one to do for my own personal self has been rough. I've almost gotten to the point where I've just defaulted to really just, wanting to use my own website for everything and just trying to direct traffic towards my own website, which again, I made the website for a reason because I want people to use my website. But as I found out, people don't like to leave their social media platforms, like especially like the Facebook people they don't want to click off Facebook, or like YouTube people may not want to click off YouTube. I think they're like better doing it than some other people, but you know what I'm saying, like Instagram people may not want to click off Instagram, or may not want to get off of the platform to go view something else. So it's hard, like if you have a massive following, I've noticed it is easier to move people from one thing to another, or get people who transition, or like if you are introducing something new or a new platform, they'll move with you. But it's only a fraction of your audience. Clearly, from what I've just observed from other people, it's never really going to be your entire audience, which I wouldn't expect for it to be. But it's usually like a fraction of it. And from what I'm gathering is that if you don't have that big audience in the first place, it's even harder to get people to move and transition and to look at the other things that you're offering or doing, right? There's been stories out there I've seen where people who are maybe popular on TikTok, for instance, they may be popular other places as well, but if they, I'm saying, like if you met them on TikTok and you know them on TikTok, you don't look for them anywhere else. That's kind of like how, what I'm saying, that's like how people have been. Like if they see you, like there's somebody's Instagram famous, and if you look beyond this, they don't look beyond Instagram to find whatever you got going on. Now for me, what I'm doing personally, because I'm trying to do so many different things, along with products, or services and things like that. I have coaching sessions, trying to start just various different things, trying to talk about, just trying to help people be more positive and helpful. And as I said, I'm going through my own personal healing journey, and I'm trying to help people, aid them in theirs where I can. I'm not going to sit there and say I know everything about everything, because I sure don't. But what I've noticed is that they're very problematic things with these social media platforms. So there's been news stories for years about how they will cause depression in people. People look and get envious, jealous, blah 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 about you seeing your life. Whereas, now today, in 2021, there's many people who are able to see each other or see other people who they weren't able to see in years prior. You can imagine what somebody's like the rich and famous, what their life would be like. You can like, I imagine they have this and this and this going on, right? But now we actually can see it in front of our faces for some people, and it's like, oh, that can be triggering. You can see other people getting things or doing things or whatever else, and they can be like whatever to people. What I've noticed, especially and there's been the companies, there's news stories, companies have been really trying to tweak these algorithms, either for better or for worse, testing us, guinea pigging us, which, I mean, they kind of, I almost hate saying that they kind of have to, because I feel like that's really, really gross to say, but at the same time, it's like, you don't know how to make it better unless you find out what's making it worse. So, but what I've noticed, and I'm going to get to the Facebook too, because I feel like that's because they are the biggest social media out there. When I looked it up, they literally are the biggest social media with over 200, I think it was 250 billion people worldwide. You may check me on that. It's either like 230 or 250. I can't remember which one, but it's a lot of it's 200 over 200 something billion people worldwide are on Facebook as like active users. So it's important, and I hate Facebook. So I'm just being honest. Like I hate using it. I hate it's so like for me to even be on there. This is why I really want to make this episode, because that was like a whole thing for me. I'm gonna get to that in a minute. But like, you have to, like, the feeling of these different platforms, these feelings of these different things, these algorithms. You have to working with all these different algorithms all the time, trying to get in front of people, trying to do this and that. And that's like the biggest thing too, is if, a lot of people try to start at home businesses if they did not already have one. And the biggest way to market, if you're trying not to get to like the person that's in like your front yard or your next door neighbor, would be social media, because it's supposed to be open to getting a whole bunch of different people, but at the same time, it is and it's not. Like you start off usually with people that you know in your general area, or people who like you friends with from old co-workers, or family members or whatever, who you may not see on a daily basis. But that's like, it's like the transition from that to just total random strangers, or like there's a whole like disconnect there. And what I've found for a lot of times is that the people who you know, or people who you've met in real life, are the people who are not going to treat you with the respect trying to do this, or trying to do social media. Not to say that they won't, be nice to you depending on like where you post or things like that. But like they're like, if it's for like a business purposes, then the people who may not take your business seriously, or who won't support you in your business. They're the people who will honestly, sorry, my cat. They're the people who honestly, like they want to get something for free or discounted, usually. Like, oh, I want the discounted price, whatever, blah, 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 or I go to this person because I can get, whatever, or something, like rub me the deal the right way, whatever. And it's like, just, it's disgusting how the people like can try to smooth you a little bit. But like, with the social media is that, there's different platforms reach different people. So one of the reasons why I don't like Facebook in particular is because it is known as like family, friends, co-workers, like people who you've met in like your actual life, like on a day-to-day basis, you've met them. Then that's like what that network, or what that network is supposed to technically be like for. But then those are the people who are not as supportive. You know what I mean? Like so it's like they're the people who may watch you, but they watch you just to talk shit, or they watch you just to be like, oh, look at what this person is doing. They think they're so great. Like, they just to, throw shade on you. But then you get these other networks of you people who are generally like nicer to you, who don't ever know you, never knew you in your real life, but they may not be purchasers, or they may not be like long-term sticking around, or I don't know if you want like fans, or whatever words you want to use. They might not be the base that you need them to be. And so what I found out is that like it depends on how you make people feel when they come to your social media. So I've been working really, really, really hard on trying to make it a cohesive experience to look at my social media, or at least I'm just trying to understand what it is I got going on and what I'm talking about, or from just a perspective in general. And it's interesting to see, again, when I get to talking about these different social medias from a business standpoint versus like a consumer standpoint, it's interesting to see how it's so completely different versus like messaging can be different, and wording, and trying to just understand how someone can use what you have going on. Like a lot of these social medias, I found out like, people don't even know how to use them, or they use 2 or 3 features from them, and that's about it. And if you, like, for me personally, trying to put too many features on there, or trying to put too many things in that thing, it looks all filled out and nice. People are like, oh, it's like, people think you're just like professional or whatever. People think like, oh, you've done a lot of stuff, or you got this going on, or they think that it's really, really like jazzed up. But they don't end up like going through and clicking and seeing all the things that you've done. They just see this whole bunch of stuff there. So it's like makes you like a little bit more legitimate, but then they're not like, I don't know, it's like transitions for these things, right? Like I have a whole business on my, this is okay, so let me get into this Facebook story real quick. So I sell my spiritual stuff, metaphysical products. I have services where I do coachings, readings, things like that. Get that chaotic cleanse out there. I'm just putting that out there and spray as I do this, because I'm gonna need it for that Facebook, y'all. So the one thing I've always seen people is that, you get a news story, get a big break, get some kind of controversy, get something going on, and try and like raise your buzz a little bit, right? Because it's all about getting attention for the most part, especially on social media. It's all about getting attention, getting likes, getting comments, getting followers, all that kind of stuff. Just getting as much attention and unwavering attention at that as possible. So I would post things to try and get attention. I'm not necessarily proud of the fact that I have to do that, but again, that's like that tells me what this world is just doing shit for attention. And like, I mean, that's, I don't know what to tell you. Like, that's just what like the world has like devolved into. It's just doing anything possible for attention, and then you get the attention, and that's like, you drive up sales to your business. Whatever toxic attention you may have gotten, it's like, oh, let me just do whatever. Let me say something controversial or something racist or something, whatever, just to get attention from people, so that people will look at what I got going on, or which is sad. Like, you can't. And what's really sad is that you don't get attention for doing good positive things. That's which I've tried to do both. More the positive than whatever. But hey, sometimes you try to do some things to get whatever. So I have had an Instagram business. Well, not Instagram business, but that's what I'm saying. This is like, because I put my business on Instagram, right? All my products and things. And Facebook owns Instagram and WhatsApp, for those who don't know. Again, that's another thing with these social medias, is that a lot of them are buying each other or are like copying each other's features. So it's really hard to be like, who do you have on this versus on that, and who can you find here and there and whatever else, right? So I just want to tell my backstory for this, because I just need people out here to know how this, like, somebody at Facebook, they need to look at whatever they got going on over there, especially their business website, like, for real. So I have my products listed on there. Hello. I have my products listed on there. And the way it works is that Facebook, because it owns both of them, if you make a store, you can put it on both Facebook and Instagram at the same time with the same store, right? So with that being said, I put my stuff on there, blah, 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 blah. Got everything, set up to go. That took a minute in and of itself, but whatever, because it's not like, some of them are more trying to be integrating and things like that, but Facebook is like the hardest integrator, because they're so like, they even, like, if you click a link, they even post a link that says, are you sure you want to leave Facebook to go click this link? Like, yes, that's the whole point. I clicked the link for it. That's the whole reason why I clicked the link. Like, why are you asking me? Like, yes, I want to leave Facebook. Who the fuck wants to stay on Facebook? I'm sorry, y'all, but like, for real, like, that's irritating. Why would they even have that there? You know what I mean? Like, they're just trying to get you to stay there all day long, and it's like the people who stay there all day long are not happy with whatever they got going on. They're usually not happy. So basically, I had this stuff on there listed for that, right? One of the pictures I had a picture of me with my tank top on. I have nipple piercings, for those who care. And one of the pictures had my nipple piercing exposed, and I'm not the skinniest person on earth, so I have a man boob. I have moobs, apparently. I'm just going to be honest out there. So people were making fun of, my nipple ring out there, and, was making fun of my titty, basically. And I don't care personally, because I'm like, whatever. I know I have it. I know it's a thing. Like, I know that most people are not like. To me, I don't see how people are so like against nipple rings. Like, one guy told me I need to go repent and take out my nipple ring, and like, I'm like, okay, I need to go repent for what? But like, I don't care about that stuff. Like, I've gotten bullied enough to the point where I just stopped caring. Which, what, for good or for bad, whatever you want to take that, but social media has been like, being bullied on social media has become such a normative thing for me that I don't even, or like hate speech or whatever, like people just saying rude comments or whatever is such a thing for me. I don't even like, it doesn't even bother me anymore. Like, I've been insulted. Look, for the people who are listening to the podcast, I'm black, I'm not straight, whatever kind of queer, whatever you want to call it, I don't know the right word for it. I go by autosexual. I'm not the most masculine person ever in the universe, and I'm used to being made fun of. So it's not anything new to me. Um, so like getting online and being made fun of, like some people like they're heckling is like calling me gay. I'm like, yeah, I'm okay with that. Like that's the kind of the whole point. So whatever. Um, but I get so I put a picture up there with my nipple ring out in one of them, and to try and start a scandal or something, right? Or try to start something that like will get people's attention, which it did. I will point out it did get people's attention, which is the premise of my story here. I tagged it in one of my products, just to see, what people say something, notice something, right? Now, again, when I first set up my Instagram, Facebook store, or put my same products on there, I had it listed to, go to my website to go purchase it, right? Instead of trying to purchase it through the Facebook, Instagram, paid portals. So when I do that way, and this is a different episode, y'all. This is just me talking about this stuff, but I want to get the story out. Um, when I do it that way, they rank it less. And this is how most of these social media companies work, or things in general. The less you use them, or the less features that they have that you use, the less they recommend you. So the more you put into Facebook, or the more you put into Instagram, or the more you put into YouTube, or the more you put into Twitter, the better it's supposed to be for you, right? The more that they're supposed to recommend you, or the more they're supposed to like put you out there in front of people's faces. The more they're supposed to like do this and that, to help you, because you're technically using more of their product, or more of their website, or whatever you want to call it, more of their network. So when I had it that way, I didn't get sales very much. I got people who not through those channels, or didn't get the traffic from those websites, or from those apps either. Whatever you want to call them, the social medias. I didn't get traffic from social medias. I'm sorry. Like I let them go. I let my cats go outside for the people who are watching the video, and I'm like watching them because they're running around. It's like cute. But I didn't do all that stuff on there. So then later on, I was able to finally get access to submitting it through their pay channels. So I submitted through their pay channels. So now, you can buy directly on Facebook, or buy directly on Instagram, or, like directly to get my products and stuff. Now that garnered views and attention. And for those people who don't know, they also have insights, so you can see, how many people get your views and attention, which to me was an issue. Well, not an issue, but like, it's like irritating to me that that's the social media that I'm the most popular on out of all of them so far, and it's the hardest one for me to use, from a business standpoint. So on the business side, right? So I did all that. Now, if you all are not aware, Facebook has like 3 business apps to use, and then a business website. And not to mention the actual Facebook app itself, you can manage your business pages on the Facebook website and app. But then they have other like separate things you can do, supposedly other things with. But the things that the other websites can do, when I tell you it's a big mess, it's just a big mess. Okay, I'm sorry if I'm like hurting somebody at Facebook's feelings. Well, kind of not really, but like it's a big mess. Okay, so there's the Creator Studio for Facebook. There's also the Facebook Business Suite. Both of those things don't do anything that you would need for like your shop, or for anything that actually has to do with like your actual business. All they do is like change you can post things, different things better. And if your business is just literally like just posting stuff, that's one thing. But if you're trying to like sell something, neither one of these products do anything for you. They don't. So there's a business website you have to get to on the desktop website, business.facebook.com, which I finally went to. And the only reason why I even went to there is because, again, the nipple ring piercing I tagged for one of my products that had nothing to do with the nipple ring, but I just wanted to see, what would happen. I started getting messages. Now, when people message your business on Facebook, again, they don't have a business messenger. and I found no way to put a business page on Messenger. So the only way I ever knew about that was sometimes in the excuse me, not in YouTube, in the Instagram message things. I would get every now and again someone saying something and just heckling me, like, I call them spammies. So I get like a spammy. So I didn't really pay attention to it whatsoever. Until eventually I got a couple more. I said, okay, so apparently people are seeing this. Let me at least go take it down and see, let me take this picture off here so I know now that people are seeing it and people will respond. Now, I go to the business.facebook.com and take the picture down because I couldn't take it down on the actual Instagram app and I mean take the picture, not taking it down from actual Instagram, but untagging it from the product because it really had nothing to do with the product. I was just trying to see if people would say something, scandal, whatever. So I go to that business website, business.facebook.com, and find out, oh my gosh, this is even more complicated than I thought. They've created like 3 different businesses for me, even though I only have one business. I'm like, what? And I go to read all their stuff, right? I come to find out there's been like 30 different people having customer feedback or messages or posts. Like 99% of them were talking about the nipple ring, not about the actual product, which I'm like, whatever. Then I go to apparently there's like an order section, and I don't have it in front of me to like show you guys this, and I don't really want to show you guys my whatever anyway, but like, just because I feel like awkward doing it, trying to even work that website will give me a headache. I literally I've been complaining about this all week. So like it's been a whole week and a half of me complaining about Facebook and Meta and whatever they got going on over there. So like I get on that I see there's orders. Now mind you, I've had orders apparently since I first was able to put on the shop through Facebook or buy through Facebook thing. That was back in like August. Now this is I'm recording this in December. I found this out in December. I had orders since August. August, September, October, November, orders for all those months. And I have no idea, had no awareness because they had no notification. The only way I can find out that Facebook is supposed to notify you is your email, in which when I try to put my email into that business website, they would not even take it. The website crashed when I tried to put in my email to get notified by email. So the only way I even know about that is if I have to check that website every single day or leave that website open to see if I have that. Lots of people canceled on me because, of course, I don't expect them to really be like, oh, I must wait for 4 months to get something or to hear a response from somebody. Again, 4 months went by before I got a notification. The only reason why I even knew to even check there is because I put that nipple ring piercing picture in the product, which I took it down now. But, the point being was that to see if I can get something or get some information or get some, if people would say something, if people would care, if someone would notice me, give me attention. But, I say all that to say, so I'm going on here right now. Again, this for a business person, for this being my business, to be a professional, to try and run a professional business here. That's detrimental. I see because terrible customer feedback on there. People were complaining. This one lady was like pissed, like, how long does it take to get me this? Now mind you, I wasn't even aware. Now on my personal website, I get notifications. I get things like I get told if someone wants to buy something. I have all my stuff listed on Etsy as well. The Living Shadow Shop on Etsy. I believe the link might be in the description box below for that. If not, it's on my link tree. Everything's on my link tree. Link tr.ee/the Living Shadow. But that has all my links for everything pretty much on there. Like everything. It's like loaded. I have lots of links to lots of different things. Point being, so I didn't get even notified on that about that Facebook, right? Or about those orders. So how am I looking as a business owner or as a business provider if, to me, my biggest thing is customer service. As a person who worked customer service for years, my biggest thing is customer service and customer, they say put the customer first, but, all that kind of stuff. But in a certain degree, yes, you do need to put the customer first, So lots of those orders got canceled. The 2 orders that remained, one of them I was able to ship out. I'm hoping that person was not too angry. The other person, I couldn't even print the shipping label because apparently with Facebook and Instagram being a thing, If you bought something on the Facebook side of it in the Facebook shop, they had it able to easily print a shipping label. If you had one on the Instagram side of the shop, you could not. Why that's a difference, I don't know. So that was like a completely like whatever way to like I couldn't even get his thing together because it wouldn't let me do it. I have another channel of doing it of doing like shipping labels and stuff. But it had been so long, and I felt so bad. I was like, you know what? I don't even think I got like the money from it either, which is a whole other issue because these payouts, I don't know how they're doing like these payouts and stuff because I did not even see the like. I was waiting to see the money from at least one of the orders. That would have been a whole other clue. But I never even got the money from any of these orders that got canceled. So I'm like, or never even got notified or anything like that. So, um, but anyway, so I just messaged him. I was like, you know what? I'm just not even gonna be bothered with this. Like I just messaged the guy like, okay, I just cancel your order, sir. And if you still want this, just go to my website. I literally gave him the link to the website, gave him the link to like where to go get it at, and it was like, just go here and get it, and I'll give you 50% off. Like it's not like just use this little code, whatever. I'll get you 50% off because I'm not even gonna bother with Facebook at all. Um, so long story short, he didn't. If he saw it or didn't see, he didn't do it now by now. But whatever. That moving on. I just take it as a loss because I tried to use Facebook stuff when I shouldn't have. But again, when I clicked it on there, I got the views and people purchase. But is it worth anything if they purchase and I can't fulfill the order because I'm not even aware that they have an order? So now, mind you, other websites and things like that, I go through and deal with. It's the harder part is getting people to purchase at that moment, and and moving them out to my website or through another channel, right? Because people don't like to leave there what they're currently on. Whew, excuse me. That's a gas bubble. Um, but like it's we're trying to deal with this stuff, trying to deal with that, trying to get this going over here, and uh, you know I try to only stay on these social medias enough to post my stuff and go because I've also seen, and I don't recommend people like spending too much time on social media on any platform because it does, they have been led to depression and depressive things and people having, various, very mood, emotional manipulations and things like that. Like people will try, these algorithms really try to emotionally manipulate to your feed. They want to show you things that you like. They want to show you, and they want to hide things you don't like. But if what your likes and your dislikes change, that can also be a big issue for these algorithms. Um, Things like that, and especially if you're not looking to look at people. Like I'm trying to, and I know it sounds like an issue to like not intake as much, but honestly, I feel like I intake more diverse topics if I'm not following the same like two or three people all the time than I am if I have my set like 100 people that I follow and I only look at those 100 people and that's the only thing I ever see is that like I rather be open to seeing more things. So that's the way I run mine. Whether for right or for wrong, that's to me everything it's all an experiment at the end of the day anyway. So not the business, but how people use social media and things like that. It's all like an experiment because it's new, and still people are just not getting on there. Like I know people who are just not like opening accounts for social media platforms and things like they're not necessarily the first jumpers or the people who jump in at the very beginning of something. So people are various different levels of social media usage, social media knowledge, social media um, um, intelligence or algorithm use or what you want to call it, like finessers or whatever, influencers. But there's different levels to it altogether. And with people like doing it for various different levels. So some people in the world, because again, I'm thinking like globally for some of this, there's some people in the world who don't even have internet access, let alone even make social media accounts. There's also spammies out there you got to watch for, so you don't get just caught up with spammies because there's lots of spammies out there, and especially Facebook is like a home of the spammies, which is why I really don't like it in the first place. It's like you get home of the spammies. People like just random fake accounts with random fake names and random fake pages will come out of nowhere and they start like commenting or like saying like those are the people who I feel like I get more comments from and things like that. It is the spammies, which I can't stand. That's I mean, if you wonder why I can't stand Facebook, that's probably it. But like, give me a second, y'all. Ugh. I just thought about some of the things I got from spammies and I'm okay with it for the most part because I'm used to it, but I shouldn't be used to it, and I shouldn't, that's what I'm saying. Like, it shouldn't be a thing where I'm like, because I'm not like trying to suppress it either, but at the same time, I'm like, okay, it's just in the past. But again, dealing with this stuff, it has created depression in lots of different ways. Some people feel like they get bullied because people share their opinions and they don't like what their opinions are. Some people, like I feel like, to me, I can take the people saying the negative comments for the most part. I just can't take being ignored like that on social media. Like I get ignored a lot, or like I don't get the shares, the retweets, the comments, the likes, the whatever, the hearts. They're all like this. Half of you are doing all the same thing anyway. So it, you know, I haven't gotten them like that on the social media platforms. I've just been like completely like snubbed, which and I'm the person who's normally an early adopter. I'm the person who wants to try something new. I'm the person who like wants to like put themselves out there to see what this has got going on, what that's got going on, try the different features, whatever. But again, if I'm trying these different features and I don't get anything for it, it makes me less likely to try these different features. Then as I'm like not trying these features and not like that Facebook business thing, like shopping through Facebook or like going through their pay channels, that just completely just turned me off to even wanting to do that. And I don't know how many other people have this issue or have these problems with like things like that, but that definitely was like one of those things that made me like, okay, let me not use this Facebook feature. And there's so many people on like every business class or lecture or whatever talking about social media usage for your business. The very first thing they'll say is that don't put all your eggs in one basket. Don't depend all on this one thing, this other thing, this other thing. So that's why I have so much. Like even this podcast is a podcast. Is also an audio. An audio and a video. There's a video that's I'm putting on YouTube and I'm trying to put on Facebook as well. But whatever that may be worth, I've been putting the videos on there because people apparently watch. Like I said, I saw all those many users on there, so let me at least try. But I haven't been getting views like that on there. And again, it is kind of new, but I've been on Facebook for years, so however, wherever, whatever. It depends on how you use the stuff. My point being is that you're not getting the desired results out of the social media platforms is harmful, right, to a lot of people's psyche, because a lot of people either want to get all the attention, none of the attention. Again, if you're trying to run a business, if these companies should change something like that with your business, where they're trying to like help improve you, like literally the thing on Facebook says upgrade to this, to buying through Facebook. That's not an upgrade to me if I can't even fulfill my orders. That's not an upgrade. Like these people are trying to like it's like these worlds, these universes, and Facebook was talking about starting a metaverse. I'm afraid to even see what that looks like, judging by this. Like it sours your opinion of the entire company. And me being a person on the consumer side for years, or looking at how other people do this stuff, trying to figure that out. You may not see the back end stuff or what it takes to do this stuff, or like how much you have to input and business integrations and things like that, like or misuse integrations. So for instance, like again on that Facebook, I have bookings for personal readings, coaching sessions, Reiki healing sessions, things like that. I have a schedule app or program I use. I have a scheduler site I use, and I have that it's integrated with my main website, and I was able to put it through Instagram as well. Now, for whatever reason, it's not on Facebook, but it's claiming that it's on Facebook, if you go to the Facebook channels, it all says it's there. But if I try to go and use it on Facebook, it does not work. So if you try to book me on Facebook, the link does not work. So I thought, okay, let me try it from my side. I had my friend try to do it from the consumer side, see if if she went to my site, what it would look like, what it would do. I trying to get some kind of feedback, just in general, because I feel like feedback is important to me. I don't want to just sit there and exist in a bubble where I do everything I do is perfect, and I don't ever change anything to help anybody else, because that doesn't help anybody else if I just sit there and leave it where it's at. But so I wanted to go see on there what that looks like. That book now button doesn't do anything. I filled out the services. That does not do anything. As far as I click the services, go in there, blah blah blah. I tried to set it up, and the other issue I had was that so I'm trying to figure out so this since I can't do it on there, or it's not using the thing it says it's integrated with. What if someone double books? Because that's a very big issue for me. I don't want to be double booking people. I'm only one person here. I know people may think I'm more than one person or whatever. I can move quickly and operate and do things. I try to be very efficient, but I'm only one person here. So if I am double booked, I can't fulfill that. And I may not even know about that because of the way this stuff is isolated. They're isolating these different universes, worlds, things like that, and that's not really conducive for. It's very counterintuitive for business. It's very counterintuitive for just people in general. Trying to be in these isolated little boxes. If you all think about, if you think about like how the iPhone works and Android too, both, and but a lot of people will think about the iPhone like that little square box, for the icon, and that's like the world they want you to live in. Like Facebook is very much about that, like. When you live in this one little world, you live in this app, that's it. That's the only thing we want you to use on your phone. And that and Messenger, which I have a whole other issue about that too. But point being, it's that it's just this world, like, ooh, excuse me. Ooh, okay, now this root beer is getting to me. So there is but like there's this whole entire like world, but like they want you to live in this app. They want you to live in this world, or in this like universe, or as Facebook is calling it, like the metaverse now, right? But it's not helpful if I got to reach people who aren't in the metaverse. I got to reach people who are not on Facebook all the time. I got to reach my Etsy people. I got to reach my YouTube people. I got to reach my my Instagram people. Even though Instagram is owned by Facebook, there's still a different crowd there. It's not like it's the same crowd, or the same audience. I gotta reach all these different kind of people. I gotta reach my Twitter people. I gotta reach this, I gotta reach everybody. Even if I'm not even getting the attention that I want from these platforms, I still feel like I need to put it out there to at least try to attract that attention, right? So it's depressing if you only get attention that you get isolated into one box. And we talk about narcissism on a lot, different narcissism traits. If you go to my tarot channel, The Living Shadow Tarot, on YouTube, which is another thing I'm doing, I usually end up having readings. If I sense the abuse in the situation, I tend to like tell you at least what part of it or what narcissistic behavior or tactic is being used during that. It's not necessarily meant to be a tarot abuse detector, but if I detect abuse in the situation, I'm going to call it out for what I see it as, because as I'm trying to heal from it and learn from it, I don't want anybody else to go through what I went through. Excuse me. So, if you go on there and look in different stuff, I do have that available. I'm starting to miss my point now. But if you're isolated into that one box, right? Like I don't want to isolate people just to say like, oh, you only have to watch these videos. I have other things going, like this podcast. I have the video version of the podcast. I don't want to make you feel like you have to only you have to watch every single thing I do, or you have to watch, that only in one spot, or you only get this information from one area, or you can only contact me through one channel, or you can only do like that. I don't want to feel like that. Either way, like I want to be flexible enough to I'm convenient for people, but still not so I'm not stretched so thin that I can't do anything, and I have 15 million things going on and I don't have any type of structure with it. So, and I understand just in general, like as CEO, business owner, I'm trying, like, I'm doing my business thing. I want to make something that is more easy for me to comprehend and for other people to comprehend as well. So, this which leads me to this the messenger thing for the Facebook, right? Because as I said, these people messaged me. I could not even see the message. My one friend, she went on my business page and messaged me on my business page, just even trying to be funny. I didn't even see the message. There's no way I could see it. There's no way I could find it unless I went to that business.com Facebook page, or business.facebook.com, excuse me, and I went and see the messages in there along with, they have the Instagram like stuff in there and all this kind of stuff, which I do see, but all the things I don't see. I did not find any way to do Messenger on my phone. Again, most people are using their phones. Most people don't buy desktops anymore. So, I have not had a desktop. For the most part, I've been using my iPad for the last year, and using the desktop mode on Safari. So, and I've been able to make products and things, as you all on the video can see, my bath pots here, the Picada cleanse there, my notebook here. I've been able to run services. I've been able to work for the most part without that. So, and again, in a transitioning world moving forward, where most people are mobile first, or again with I saw a news story today where inflation went up about like almost 10%, which is a record high. In the news, it went up 10%, and they have not raised minimum wage or raised any type of, like, these jobs you see out here are not offering any more money. So it's like most people are not going to be able to have a phone and a computer, and I'm sure most people are just going to opt to get the phone. So if we're like, there's no desktop mode on the phone, even, like, yes, I'm fortunate enough to have an iPad or have a tablet, or be able to get a cheaper desktop computer or a laptop or something, but not that many people are able to do any like those things, especially now as we're creeping into this era where they're making it harder and harder for us to get ahead in life. So I said that to say that, okay, so had I not had that, had I not been able to go to that business.com business.facebook.com website and see that, I would have never even seen the conversation about my stuff. I never even would have seen it. So again, another product they own now is WhatsApp. They have a WhatsApp business app, so I put that up there. I don't know if that's going to be better or not, but again, for business conversation, you would almost have to use my WhatsApp for like the Facebook verse or whatever, because the metaverse or whatever, because there's no way I can contact you or talk to you on my phone to be able to answer your business questions or anything like that. Now, of course, if you're not in that Facebook metaverse, there's other ways like YouTube comments, Twitter, email, all that kind of stuff. Even just texting my business number or calling the business number is one way to is a way to do that. But literally on that Facebook metaverse life, they don't even offer. They're trying to get you to use the Messenger, of course, because they want you to use your Messenger. But how can you if you can't even respond to? You know what I'm saying? It's very, very I don't know if people I don't know if they have people using it or whatever, or how they have people working this. Are they just trying to just make it or whatever? Because I look on this app and I see there's 3 different ways you can 3 different shops. There's 4 different video things. It's and this is devolving to me just complaining about Facebook, but it's the biggest one, so it's the one that most people are on, and it's the one that needs to have their shit together the most, in my opinion, because they have more people on it, so they need to have their shit together. I'm sorry, not sorry, but if my business is depending on you, getting this together in any way, shape, or form, I have a problem with that, and I gotta I'm saying it. So with this, it's also sad because, again, as a person who is trying to help people as best I can, alleviate depression and trauma and all the things that from whatever standpoint I can help somebody with, if for them to not be able to even reach me, but for these companies to promote emotional health and things like that, just to have the little fluff piece to say that they're doing it, but not actually see the follow through behind it, is disheartening. Because to me, in my mind, like that would be the very number one thing, is that you see someone having a business, like you would notify them if someone had a purchase on that business. That just, I mean, whatever kind of business it is, you would notify them if someone purchased something from the business, or you know what I mean. Like, I'm not even trying to be like, oh, they should promote me because I'm the one doing it. I mean, I kind of feel that way a little bit, but it's like, like I'm just being honest. Like, they should just, if someone buys a product from you, you should be able to be notified that someone bought a product. I'm just saying. Like, I'm just saying. But again, it's like, okay, so are we left up to these whims of people? And again, like, I'm not big enough yet to like hire a marketing company to like throw my stuff everywhere. There's ads, of course. You can purchase ads, and these platforms do have ads for yourself for online. But again, it's one of those where you're wondering, but how far does this ad go? And now, after that debacle, I'm almost afraid to purchase an ad for Facebook, because okay, say I get these people, am I just going to get more angry customers? Am I going to get more people out there for the little audience I do have, for them to just have negative feedback about me and just effectively like kill me off before I ever get anywhere? You know what I mean? Like, if you don't have that many people, and then you get people, and the people that you do get are thinking negatively or against what you got going on, that can kind of like hurt your business. I mean, that's just common sense right there. So, I'm trying to figure out, who, this is that, blah, 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 all the mechanics, all the analytics, all the insights, and they want you to see, who's doing what, who's doing where, blah, 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 and I get it to a degree, because it's like, you want to maximize your audience. At the very least, you want to get in front of as many people, especially the people who are supporting and who will buy you. You want to maximize your audience. But the issue that I have is that they kind of dictate who your audience is in the first place, which I don't like. I don't like the idea that, okay, so Facebook is deciding who my audience is. And then at the same time, it's like, okay, so if Facebook decides to give me like this audience that is against my nipple ring, that's all I'm going to get is the people who are against my nipple ring, and the people who are not even paying attention to what my product actually is. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a whole different thing versus like, are these people the people who are looking for the thing I'm offering? Are these people just people who are just going to comment something, or just going to say something? Like, this trolls. Like, trolls are popular online because they're the people who like just put something in there, or who just say something, right? So a lot of these people are pandering towards trolls just because trolls give them engagement. And I don't like that idea that, oh, we need to pander towards the trolls because the trolls speak. Like, it's like pandering towards the vocal minority because they're vocal. But if they're the minority, or if they're the people who are not in support, especially if it's a vocal minority, they're usually the people who are against whatever it is you're doing. The last thing I want to do is try to pander to those people when I can try and get people who may not be as vocal but who are supportive. I'd rather get the supportive people than the vocal minority people who aren't supportive. But again, because of how social media works and things like that, they want clicks and engagement, and they want to see you interact with people. They throw you against the people. They throw you to the people who are against you, because those are the people who will probably say something. Like, the people who leave the hate speech comments or things like that are the people that will probably throw you against, or throw you to easier, because those are the people who will say something, especially because they say something negative. So this is like, again, if we're talking about like getting people depressed, so it's hard to, if you're trying to not have people be depressed and upset and using these platforms, it's hard to get them to keep using them if you're literally throwing them in front of the people who say rude, nasty, mean things about them, just because those are the people who say something about them. Which is like, again, there's a whole problem with just like how humanity is, when people, like, humanity is not like usually like positive people. Well, we need to get more positive people out there, or more open-minded people in general, just in existence. But it's rough to see that, okay, so the people who are like that, who do exist, who are on these platforms, using these platforms, are not the people that they're trying to engage. They're trying to engage the negative, hate speechy people because those are the people who leave the comments. And it's like that's even more toxic and rough, like to try and get those people. And of course, I see people, they have different ways and methods and things where they can try and like cultivate their own, like, I don't know, world, universe, society, soul tribe, of people who are, on the same, like, maybe like mind frame or wavelengths, or who are nicer to them, or who, like they're like fan base. If you want to say fan base, I have a problem with saying the word fan base in general. For me, I don't know why. Like, it's something I gotta get over. But it's like cultivating those people who are going to be in support of you, right? Now, again, I'm not a big fan of blind support either. Or support me if you actually like what I got going on. Don't just blindly support me just because whatever. Because I'm just not like a blind. I don't like blindly supporting people, or people blindly supporting me. Please tell me if I'm doing something wrong. But as I just noted, the ways you can contact me, please tell me if I'm doing something wrong, and don't just insult my nipple ring because you want to be a hater. But like, I'm using this stuff, and I really want to get this, like, an understanding here. So, we want to not be depressed. We want to have these universes. We want to have these like these tribes of people. People are starting like metaverses or universes online or whatever. People are trying to start like different like. I just was listening to a talk on Twitter Spaces where they were talking about how people want to have the different like universes, or start like these different universes, like gaming verses, or like all these people want to start their own like little world or universe where they have people come into. But again, how many on the outside? How many universes am I supposed to be a part of? And it's a big confusing mess. So I'm wondering, not necessarily to clean up the internet, but like for social media, what is the answer to how we do these things and make people happier? Because clearly, either on the creator consumer, the creator content maker side, it's not, or is slash business owner side, it's not getting the results that people need. And on the consumer side, people are not necessarily happy with using it, or they get more depressed using it, or they don't even use the features that are offered to even maybe improve their experience. They just use whatever little couple things they know how to do and get off. So it's like, how is those things get improved? And again, I need them to improve for me personally, to just because I want to be out there, help people, things like that. I want people to try my stuff. I want to see if it works for them. I'm pretty sure it will, because but I still want to hear other people, see if it works. I still want to hear other people, tell me how much their life has improved after getting my product, or after getting their home spa experience with my awakening bath box, or going out and having a stressful day at work and getting on their break and spraying them with the chaotic cleanse, and detoxing after their tough phone call, or their boss or whatever says something to them. I want to hear those great stories, but I don't know if I can if there's not ways to contact me. And I'm trying to use the social media, which I'm out there publicly for all this stuff, and it's like, how is it not able to contact me? So, that's what it is. There's no cards today. I'm just going to so I'm not gonna do the self-care oracle card. I don't even have it with me. I just started doing this. I want to get this out there because I want people to really if you are running a business on social media, I do have a class I'm starting in a couple weeks for setting up the profiles on social media. So if you want to set up your, if you're trying to set up your Etsy shop, trying to set up your Instagram, Facebook shop, trying to set up your various different things, you can go to thelivingshell.me, go to bookings, book that class. It is going to be an 8-week class, an hour a week. And I'm just going to go through and show people how to set up that, set up your different shops and things. So if you do want to get that started, I will help you set it up for, in case you, because it is very confusing, especially that Facebook Live. We may spend a couple weeks on that one alone. But so I do want to let you guys, know that. Thank you all for listening. Thank you again for listening. Thank you for the support you do give me. And if you liked, commented, subscribe, share the video. If you saw this and you shared it with your friend, or shared the podcast with your friend, even played it with your friend or whatever, or somebody who's around you, thank you for just even that. I'm very, very, very appreciative, because looking at this world is like, whoa. But thank you, and be blessed out there. Assassination. Okay, so this is going to be social media effects. And where's my little selfie one? Selfie. Okay. And recording episode. Alright. Thank you all for watching this. Whether you watched it live or whether you are watching the recording, thank you all for watching. And I am going to sign off now. And yeah, again, be blessed. Check out all the things in the link in the description box below. Check out the bath box. Check out the manifestation book. Check out the chaotic cleanse. I do have a new shirt available, and in the card shirt for Assassin Apparel. So do check that out as well. And yeah, we're gonna make it some way. We're gonna make it some kind of way. We gotta make it some kind of way, because this shit can't. I mean, just like an uprising or something. It has to be like an uprising or something. Because like how? But yes, assassination. Bye. How do I turn off the live?